Movember truly changed my path and trajectory on life, and I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I'm currently at, or even on this path that I'm currently on, which is training for marathons, signing up for Ironmans. So let me explain a little bit on the effect that it's had on me and what Movember is. Movember is an annual event held in November to help raise awareness for men's health issues such as prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and men's suicide. There are a few different ways that people can participate or help raise awareness, such as growing a mustache, hosting a moment, donating, or just moving your body physically. In the past, I wasn't really familiar with Movember. I just heard of the movement where people would grow mustaches to help raise awareness, and that's about as far as the extent of my knowledge really went for Movember. So what I would do, even though I was a child, I wouldn't really say child, but I was really young. I still can barely grow a mustache, but even back then, I could barely even grow a mustache. All I would really do is try and raise awareness for Movember, and I would try and grow a mustache. It would just be a little bit of peach fuzz at the end of the month, and that's basically all I would really do. I didn't look further into what Movember was. So that was the past Tyler, maybe 10-ish years ago. And then more recently, it's changed a little bit because of the company that I currently work for, where we actually go out and try and help raise awareness, and we actually talk about it at work. We get a little competition going as well. So I've learned a little bit more about the actual base foundation of what Movember is and what this month is actually about. So compared to the old Tyler to the new Tyler, there's a bit of a difference because now I actually know and understand what Movember is and what everything stands for. So this is getting into how it's changed my life a little bit. And what we do at work is we actually started out forming teams, and then we would compete against each other to see who would have the most mileage. So that would include walking, running, biking. And then we would also see who would raise the most money. And then we would also have a little competition. It was kind of biased. Who could grow the best mustache on the team? And we would form teams, and then we would compete against each other. And the competitiveness in me, I really wanted to do well. We had one person, the CEO's dad, would participate as well, and everyone was talking about him and how many miles he walks, and that just fired me up to want to beat him. And I got in a competition with him, and for me, I was never really a big fan of cardio, so the actual appeal of doing this and trying to beat him in mileage, that kind of turned me off. So instead of walking, because I'm not a big fan of walking, it's just too slow for me, I started running, and I basically went from 0 running to doing close to 5 miles. I think I was about 4.8 miles per day, every single day for the month of November, to try and compete with him and try and beat him for the mileage. Now, I wouldn't say I went from exactly 0 experience. When I was in high school, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, I would be on the cross-country teams, and I would do the longer distances just because I was a little bit skinnier and I had that endurance. I was always an athlete, so I had that endurance. And then about when middle of high school hit, I became really lazy. I didn't really do too much. And then I basically stopped everything. I stopped doing cardio, and I just started lifting weights. And then I got to the point where I wasn't doing any cardio. And then once Movember came around, I just jumped right into it. And that's how it's got me on this path from marathons and Ironmans. However, I didn't jump right into marathons and Ironmans right after Movember came. It was about a few months after, because once Movember stopped, I stopped running. And then I got asked to do a half marathon, and I said, sure, why not? Let's do it. So I basically got back into training, doing basically the same thing that I was doing before during Movember, maybe more of an actual structure for an actual competition. So that's how it actually originated, with me starting to get into running and starting to, I guess you could say, form this passion around running and wanting to push myself both physically and mentally. And that's how Movember's had this impact on my life. Now, this Movember is going to be a little bit different from the past Movembers, the way we're setting it up at work, because it's not going to be internal where we form 2 teams and then we're competing against each other. We're trying to combine it so all of our team is competing against our clients and trying to get them involved to help raise awareness outside of just where I work. And there's a few different ways that I plan on participating. First way is obviously growing a mustache, whatever I can grow. And then the second way is actually doing the mileage. So running, biking, and swimming. I might do swimming. I'll explain later why I might include swimming. And then the third way, I'm holding up 4 fingers, but the third way is donations. I'm not really pushing for that, but I'm just trying to raise awareness, run some miles, and maybe document a little bit, share my experiences with it, and hopefully raise awareness to other people. So as I was saying, how we're structuring a little bit at work, people were joking around that everyone should be against me, or there should be a prize for if someone's able to beat me in mileage, which no one's actually going to be able to beat me, because I'm making it a goal that no one's going to come close to me unless I get injured. And even if I do get injured, they're still not going to beat me. So I'm just going to be doing my best to do the amount of mileage that I can. I want to get at least 200. My best month during marathon training was a little bit over 200 miles. So I want to be able to get more mileage than that. And I just want to be able to blow everyone out of the water. How the tracking works for the mileage is a little bit interesting. For walking and running, it's just straight mileage. So if you run 4 miles, that's 4 miles logged. With biking, it's a little bit different. If you do 30 miles, you got to divide it by 3. So that's actually 10 miles gets added to your score. And then for swimming, I said at first I wasn't going to add in because it was too much math and didn't feel like doing that. But it's multiplying that by 4. So right now I currently do about 1 mile per swim. So that would be about 4 miles total that it would count towards. So that's how the system's going to be working. And my goal is basically to blow them out of the waters. If I can do about 70 miles per week, I think that's 7140. That's about 280 miles throughout the whole month. And I think that should be well more than enough to beat them. I think my best month was the very first year that we did it. And I got around 140, 150 miles, and no one was really close at that point. So if I can get around 270 miles, it's not even going to be close. So that's a little bit about Movember, the impact that it's had on my life and the path that it's brought me on, and what I plan on doing this coming November. If you would like to participate, there's a few different ways that you can, or if you just want to help raise awareness, you can grow a mustache, you can run, bike, swim, log it in. You can sign up on their website at movember.com, or you can donate. I'll have a link in the description. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can donate there. It's in USD. I guess I should just preface that because my parents weren't too happy when they donated and they're like, oh, this is in USD. I could have used my US Visa. So if you are going to donate, you don't have to if you don't want to. There will be a link in the description below, or you can just support me by watching these videos and checking out and watching my journey. I'll try and document November, and maybe I'll give an update at the end of the month or maybe halfway through, just on how it's going, because I do still have my foot injury and maybe it will affect my running a little bit, but I plan on documenting it, and maybe at the end of the month for sure I'll update it and see if I did actually hit, what did I say, 280, 270, 270 miles. I don't know what it was, but we'll see if I get there. And there's a few ways that you can support if you do want to help raise awareness, or if you do want to follow along. Like I said, this is a great cause to support, and it did change the trajectory of my life. So thanks for watching and supporting. Now go out there and move your body a little bit for this coming month, or actually throughout the whole year, because why not? It's healthy for you. And if you can, grow a mustache to help raise awareness. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.